Hey guys, I guess today is CryEngine 3 benchmarking day. I just finished benchmarking Wilson and now I'm going to benchmark Homefront 2, the revolution on a single GTX 1070 paired with my old Core i7-860. This is another video that has to do with pairing a new GPU with an old CPU. And as always, this video is recorded on an external recorder at 60 frames per second. So what you will see in this video is pure performance. No system resources are wasted for the recording. Now the H60 is overclocked to 4 GHz, its usual benchmarking speed. There we are. GB of memory, and the graphics card is a single GTX 1070 made by KFA2. It is the EX model, latest firmware, also overclocked in order to reach 2 GHz for the core clock. And I'm going to benchmark my usual benchmarking location for this game. We can see here the result of the GTX 970 with the H60, and below we will see the 1070 result along with some performance analysis at the end of the video as usual. So let me launch the game and let's see how it performs.
Achieved with CryEngine.
Okay, let's see the options first. 1080p resolution, of course, anti-aliasing, sub-pixel morphological anti-aliasing at low, the same as I used in my previous videos. Not a big fan of T2X, it makes things a little blurrier. Not temporal anti-aliasing either. Texture resolution at high, this is the highest available option, and system spec at very high, and the advanced are following the very high preset. So that's it basically. Let me go to my benchmarking location. It is a dynamic game and it is difficult to benchmark and do the same stuff in all runs, but I try to keep the same path at least, and we will see how it goes.
We gotta push into the next
Yes,
area.
okay.
Awesome that we took this one back.
I'm
There's
going
still
to
a
start the
shit.
benchmark outside. I'm starting the benchmark. I believe there should be some enemies here. That's why I told you the game is dynamic and not all the same things happen all the time.
보스팀은 40분 단위로 툴 스캔에 보고하라. 누락된 툴은 20분 내에 중앙에 보고해야 한다.
Brady, we have reports that the KPA are using this pharmaceutical building as a weapons
At
storage
least we will see
location.
some
Head on
action
over
here.
and see what you can find.
I hope.
들어오는 차량 검사팀을 준비시켜라.
놓쳤다. 교전. 초동 발생. 초동 발생. 새 업무 이동 중. 발사. 교전. 내리 이동할 테니 내 지시대로 따르라. 동감이야. 수비탄. 어디로 가버렸니? 맞습니다. 당했다. 내 업무 내리 이동할 테니. 더 안전한 괴물이 필요하다. 알겠습니다. 보호막으로 이동한다. 알았어. 꼼짝 내가
사무팀은 매시간 단위로 보안 데이터를 상사에
사단자. 실탄 투척.
Biggest killer out there.
Looks like our intel was accurate. Those weapons will be very useful. I'll make sure they're distributed amongst our people. Nice find, Brady.
Let's head out.
Come in, Philly Alpha. What's going on? I'm hearing buzz that a truck was seen entering Lombard. Had a big escort, helicopter, the works.
Could be it was Walker. We'll look into it.
All right, I'll tell Parrish. Keep me posted.
나가는 차량 10분. 차량 검사팀은 최종 점검하여 출구 장교에게 OK 코드를 보고하라.
Ned! Anyone! This is Andy! Nork's got us surrounded! We need immediate...
this message and you're closest. Marking the transmission source on your phone. Get over there. See if you can help. I'll send support as soon as I can.
감독자는 담당 팀의 성과를 대조로 보고하여 선례와
This Walker. We tried.
Okay, this is the end of the benchmark. Decent performance overall, some hiccups here and there. And now let's see, 84 frames per second compared to 63 frames per second before. Tremendous performance increase. The benchmark did end up a little longer, unfortunately, but I told you this game, as quite many others, are dynamic and you cannot do exactly the same thing all the time, but that's okay. The performance increase is very clear. We can see the frame rate being very decent. The frame times are also very good, although we did have some hiccups here and there. GPU usage at 98%, not exactly maxed out, but you do not call that CPU limited either. Let's see how it fares with the 2500K later. CPU usage medium to high for all cores, even the hyper-threaded ones. We could be looking at thread switching, of course, but thankfully the CPU usage is higher than 50%, so that means that we have some real load on the logical processors, which is always very good. CPU temps are okay. GPU temps also okay. RAM usage max is at 6 GB. System RAM okay. The core clock of the video card is indeed at 2 GHz. It drops a little later on. The GTX 1070 seems to be more sensitive in clocks in this system, which is very interesting. This may have to do with the different case, of course. My cooler master is a lot better at cooling the whole system. Video RAM at 2.5 GB. The system says that I'm hitting a voltage limit here. I'm not exactly sure why it hits a voltage limit here and not in my other system. I don't know. So let me go to flat. Okay, this may end up being a little tricky. So I have already loaded all my relevant benchmarks. We can see the GTX 1070 with the 860 87.7, my previous run 62.6, and of course I have already loaded the GTX 1070 with the 2500K. The 1070 is the one that is most responsible for the good performance of this game. It is GPU limited primarily, and at least with these CPUs the performance is very good. When you go to the 1070 it hits close to 90 frames per second, close to 100 with the 2500K. Good performance overall. We will see the visualization. Of course, unfortunately we did have some huge spikes in this run at some points. I'm not sure why. The overall frame times are very good, however, if you discard some hiccups here and there. Everything is below 16 milliseconds, close to 12 actually, very good performance. And we will see the percentage, of course. Time spent beyond 16.7 milliseconds is indeed minimal at close to 0%. Only a few frames missed this target. Always a good indication of good performance. The same goes for the histogram of the frame times. Below 15 milliseconds for most of the frame times, excellent performance. If we see the same graph for the 970, we will see some considerable differences. Only half of these frame times are above 16 milliseconds, and even if we go to the time spent, we will see that we have 36% of frames being delayed above the 16.7 milliseconds threshold. So overall very good performance. And now that we are done with these guys, green, purple and red, purple and green are good colors. So let's see the complete runs. The frame times, the red one is the 1070 with the 860, the one I just did, and we can see that only in this system we have these 3-4 huge spikes. That is a little weird. I'm not sure why this is happening, but these are momentary moments. Thankfully, it seems that frame times min max. It seems that I did have a max. Anyway, fuck it. Not important. let's see the frame rate. The frame rate, very interesting. The length of the runs is comparable. We do not have huge differences, but the purple one with the 970 was a tiny bit shorter. Anyway, not too bad. The green is the 2500K with the 1070. It is of course faster for the most part. Of course, you cannot compare frame to frame here, unfortunately. You just have to see the bigger picture because the runs are very long and different things happen during these runs, but on the same path. This is what is important, and what is important of course is to see that the 970 is the one that is holding the game back. By holding back I mean, okay, you only have 62 frames average, 87 for the 1070 on the 860 and 99 for the 1070 and then 2500. The 1070 is guaranteed for this system at least to give you an excellent gaming experience. As in most games, the card is a beast, what can we say. So 1070 and 2500K, the best variability and stuttering. The 970 had a little stuttering for some weird reason, that's okay. And the variability is higher on this very run, possibly due to these spikes that occurred at some points. And also the stuttering is not very good on this run. That is really weird. I'm afraid I missed that. I'm afraid I really missed that. Yes, it was there right in my face. We do have a lot of stuttering with the 860 and the 1070. Let me load up the frame times chart of the 1070 with the 2500. Okay, now let me see this one. I'm afraid that these huge spikes are the ones that are affecting the performance score, because I do not see anything really bad happening overall in the frame times in this graph. Let's go and see the percentiles. This is the most important graph because it shows you everything you need to see, and what we need to see is that indeed the GTX 1070 with these two processors manages a very good performance, a lot better than the 970, which in turn is not too bad for this game. I'm not sure this will help at all. Yes, the huge spikes cannot provide a decent performance indication, unfortunately. I'm not sure. I'm still troubled as to why this happened. I'm not sure. You can see that although the 1070 has a lot higher overall frame rate, with the frame times variability and the stuttering that occurred, it comes tumbling down to 63 frames per second, which is a huge performance loss. That's a real pity. In any case, it is what it is. I hope Windows did not doing any unnecessary access to anything else while I was benchmarking. In any case, I hope you find the video interesting, my friends. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you on my next one.